Ethereum Classic has pumped over 400% in the last 6 weeks. Today, I'm going to help you see what's likely to occur next. My name is Jagir. I've been trading for like 15 years, and there's particular patterns that tend to unfold, and I'm going to share them with you today so we know with high probability what's likely to occur. Is it going to continue up, or is it going to go for a correction? So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and let's dive straight in. So wow, look at Ethereum Classic. Like it's practically vertical, but there's a particular pattern that has unfolded, and I'm going to share it with you. So the way I want to show you this is the theory first and then the reality of what's going on. So I've actually just created something called the R15 Crypto Gym, where you can actually try all of this for £1 for 30 days. You get a lot of goodies. I'm going to add the chart of Ethereum Classic. You get a Bitcoin chart, you get Bitcoin workouts. But what I have also is something called the Crypto Gym Bootcamp. And on day one of the bootcamp, I give you the main kind of high level of Elliott wave theory. That's what we're going to use today. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention. Right. So what I'm bringing to your attention over here, if I can just bring this up like so, is that markets move in fives and threes. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by an A, B, C. The reason I bring this to your attention is because we are seeing a very particular pattern with Ethereum Classic, and I want to leverage this information to show you. So let's just get rid of these drawings now. Let's see if we can get rid of these. Yep, thank you very much. All right. So let's just go back to Ethereum Classic. Remember that fives and threes. So when we're looking at this chart, what I'm always looking for, what you should be looking for, especially if you manage to buy in quite low, if you bought somewhere down here, you always should be looking for, is there a 5-wave structure? Because what was discovered is when there's a 5-wave structure, the market tends to be topping out. And normally it's the third wave that's the most impulsive, but sometimes it is the wave 5. And this is normally panic buying. Panic buying, FOMO, fear of missing out, etc. And when you see this, you definitely want to be taking some profits, if not a lot of profits. And I'm going to show you what typically occurs next with high probability. There's a few factors that we can add in to stack the odds in our favor, but more often than not, when you see a pattern like this, which is what looks like a wave 1, it looks like a wave 2, pretty typical. And then we had a nice impulsive move to the upside, a wave 3, a wave 4, and then we had this explosive wave 5. Now it's unusual for wave 5s to be the longest, most impulsive wave. It's quite common in commodities like gold and oil because it's seasonal, or wheat or juice and things along those lines. However, in crypto, you can see it, especially when the market is in its current climate. So what are we talking about here? Well, when you see a 5-wave sequence, like we saw in the crypto gym, if I just go back down here, what typically tends to follow is this ABC correction. ABC correction. And that's what we want to look at. So I can do some analysis for you. And by the way, this is £1. You'll absolutely love the crypto gym. £1, 30 days, loads of goodies, loads of goodies. We do daily workouts on BNB, Solana, Bitcoin, and we've got some extra things. You get to join my private Telegram community. Some very, very cool things indeed. All right, so what I'm going to do for you today is the wave count is called Elliott waves. It's one of the best ways by far, especially with crypto, to read the markets. So when you see a 5-wave structure, be on high alert that you're more than likely going to see a correction. The way I like to think about it is the market has just done a sprint, and this part of the sprint has been very aggressive. And now the market is out of breath, is out of money in the immediate term. So it needs a rest, it needs a breather, it needs a recovery. So what will tend to happen during a recovery is something called a correction. But what was discovered, and it shows time and time again, it's phenomenal, it's mind-blowing how this advanced science, because any advanced science is indistinguishable from magic if you don't understand the methodology. And I'm going to show you some of it today, is it just plays out time and time again. So we're going to use something called Fibonacci time, and we're going to use something called Fibonacci price. And there's typical patterns that tend to unfold. So Ethereum Classic is likely to show these classic patterns. So first I'm going to do time. I'm actually going to take this beginning of the wave 1 to the potential end of this wave 5. I say potential end because this has not been confirmed yet. What would be a good strong confirmation? Well, if the price goes below this low or one of these swing lows over here, that would be a good confirmation. Or if there's a movement to the downside that's bigger than this movement to the downside. So what I've just done is I've measured how long did it take for this to form in terms of time. And what was discovered is more often than not, the correction is normally 38 to 62%. That's what this green and red line are. So now we have a date. Is more than likely if Ethereum Classic moves sideways to down, which is likely, not guaranteed, but likely, highly probable, between August 14th to August 23rd, we're more than likely going to see a low made. But we can do a bit better. We can do one step further. This is the last thing I want to cover today, is Fibonacci retracements. Now, these tools by themselves are not that powerful. Elliott wave by itself is useful, but not that useful. Fibonacci price by itself is useful, but not that useful. And price and time is also useful, but not that useful. But when you combine pattern, price, and time, all of a sudden you have something called a confluence of events where three things are telling you the same thing. And if you can combine a momentum indicator to that, then you've got a very high probability outcome and a high probability setup. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure this low to this high. And the reason being is most corrections, most breathers, recoveries tend to be in a minimum of a three-wave structure. Sometimes they're more complex, minimum of three-wave structure. And it will more often be something like this in the price and time zone. So for Ethereum Classic, we're going to be on high alert. When you see a five-wave impulsive trend like this, it normally indicates that this low is likely to hold, as in the price is unlikely to go below this low. It can, but it's unlikely. And it's more likely to do a deep correction. Maximum is typical of 78.6%. This is a particular ratio that just plays out time and time again. So what's the price? Well, just anticipate a minimum correction of around $28 to around $20, give or take, with Ethereum Classic. We can add a few other things as well, like momentum indicators that help us see this as well. But I'm going to keep it just a bit simpler today. Just thinking if there's anything else that I want to cover today. Is just be mindful of when the price is doing this, like it's literally pointing up. You have to understand that what drives the price going up is buying, in terms of new money buying Ethereum Classic. But that money tends to run out, and then there's profit taking, and then there's more money that comes in on the next expansion of the cycle. So just be on high alert that this is unsustainable and it requires a breather. It's natural. So that's the high probability outcome for Ethereum Classic. Now, actually, I'm going to cover one more thing. This is total forecasting. Some people, frown upon forecasting, but that is what it is, right? What typically occurs next after a five-wave sequence, an initial five-wave impulse, and a correction is the next impulse. And the next impulse, more often than not, is bigger than the first. And it's called a wave 3. This will break down to be a wave 1, something called a wave 2, and then a more macro wave 3. If, and the operative word is if, it operates that way, if it unfolds that way, typical ratio that you can anticipate, let's just be on the conservative side. Let's say Ethereum Classic goes to the 78.6 or close to this range over here. What would be the anticipation of the next expansion of the market? Again, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Ideally, it's better practice to wait for this to occur, but I'm just doing it out of, I guess it's a bit of fun, right? A bit of fun. Let's just see. These are the two ratios, 1.618 to 2.618, two ratios. And by the way, I cover this in the bootcamp. When you join the R15 Crypto Gym, £1, 30-day trial, 1 month, get a lot of goodies. And in day 2 of the bootcamp, I start going into the Fibonacci ratios, is what I'm using right now, Fibonacci price ratios in particular. So what will typically occur is that the market will do something like this. I'm getting a bit detailed here, but let's just do it anyway. Let's just say the correction finished here. More often than not, wave 3 will be similar in time to wave 1. That's what this red line is. And it will often unfold a bit more aggressive than the former structure. Let me just do it like this. Make sure I get this right. Let's go 1, 2. Often it will be something like this. Right, so the reason I'm showing you this is short term, is natural for a breather, profit taking, correction. Wave 2 is a retest of the beginning of wave 1 of this sequence. And then what tends to unfold is the next expansion cycle of the market. And it will tend to be the price range of around $75 thereabouts. Again, I'm just total speculating. Once we get more information and data, then it'll be more accurate. So join the R15 Crypto Gym. I'm going to get this added probably in the next 3 days. So here where it says crypto charts, you'll get my Bitcoin charts, Binance, Solana, Ethereum, Polygon, and I'm going to get Ethereum Classic added to this because this is a very beautiful, beautiful textbook pattern of a 5-wave structure. And when we see these, we can leverage this information on going long. But right now it's going short or just standing aside and waiting for the correction. And if it does unfold like this in the pattern and price and time zones, and the momentum backs it up, then there's a potential good next long opportunity in terms of making money as the market moves up. So if you like today's content, it was a detailed one, but we really focused on Elliott wave pattern. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, because my aim is to just educate you and improve your technique so you can leverage and maximize the odds of you succeeding. So in my book, I normally read a daily quote, but today I wanna loop this particular one. It's called "The Trend Is Your Friend." Ride it until its end, until it reaches its bend. In practical terms, how I see that is the trend is your friend and normally unfolds in 5 waves. When it reaches its end, which is the wave 5, and it's getting close to its bend, get out and take profits. Wait for the ABC style correction and then anticipate the new trend of the next 5-wave sequence. So the trend is your friend. Ride it until its end, until it reaches its bend. It looks like Ethereum Classic has had a beautiful 4x, like a 400% increase in price from the last 6 weeks. Nice price action. The trend is your friend. Ride it until its end. It looks like it's at its local end and it's likely going to reach a bend, a correction breather, 50 to 78.6%. So you want to be taking those profits as much as you can that meets your criteria, and then we'll get ready to ride the next trend, which is normally bigger than the first one, because that's just the natural way of human psychology of buying and selling behavior. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Join me tomorrow for the R15 crypto workouts with Bitcoin, and I'm going to add in the Ethereum Classic charts over the next few days, so you'll be able to download it, copy it into your own trading view, have all my settings, have the Elliott wave counts, the price, the time, everything that we did today. You'll see as is. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.